This episode of Rise and Shine is generously sponsored by Rebecca Wool from Philadelphia. If you'd like to become a sponsor, please contact us at sponsor@momentumunlimited.org.
Our Torah teaches us that the universal golden rule, love your neighbor as yourself, I am God, is key. It means to recognize that just as we are willing to make excuses and judge favorably and look for the positive light in ourselves and our children, that we must do the same for our neighbor.
This is Rise and Shine, a podcast that offers timeless wisdom and uplifting meditations to fill your heart, feed your soul, and start your day on a positive note. Here is Adrienne Gold-Davis.
I am very, very, very allergic to dogs and to cats. So please, stop telling me your dog is hypoallergenic. It just doesn't exist. There's something in their dander that will get me every single time. I'm 5 minutes in and I'm sneezing and wheezing and feeling like I want to die. So I'm asking you, warn me in advance. Now you should know, I was raised with dogs in my own home. My mother and father sent me for weekly allergy needles. I had an inhaler for my asthma so I could help deal with our dogs. Now, don't get me started on the implications of that. I spent many years in therapy sorting that out. Nevertheless, I wheezed and sneezed my way through life, and frankly, I often still do. Almost everybody I love has animals, or what my friends call fur babies, and I couldn't be happier for them. There is something so incredibly wonderful about the unconditional love a dog can give you. It's like those early years before your children noticed and said, "Mom, you need to go brush your teeth," or they found you flawless and gorgeous. Who wouldn't want to keep that feeling? And how many of us are still trying to figure out when we went from mother to other, from beauty to the beast? Anyway, I bring this to your attention for a reason. There is nothing wrong with dogs. The fact that I'm allergic to them implies that the issue is inside of me, that something in my makeup makes them intolerable. It's like a person who's colorblind and doesn't see green, for example. The green is still there, the green is still beautiful, but they're the ones that are missing the receptor cone. It's not the green that's the problem. So, this revelation gave me a brilliant reframe, which is for me a life hack that serves me well. When I react negatively to somebody, when someone bugs me, as it were, annoys me, or just plain triggers me, I now say to myself, I must be allergic to that person. And what's the meta message here? Well, simply put, it means that the issue is within me. It's within my makeup. That they are not a problem so much as that I'm missing, if you will, the receptor cone, or I'm allergic to someone who is perfectly likable, perfectly wonderful, but perhaps not someone I can be near too often. This reframe prevents me from listing all the ways this person bugs me and searching for examples of their crimes in my head. It prevents me from that righteous indignation we could often feel around those we're allergic to. It prevents me from speaking evil to them or about them. It prevents me from that eye roll or the subtle signal to a friend that the person I'm allergic to is bugging me. I remind myself, take a psychological antihistamine and get on with it. Now, when I go to my family, who sometimes have up to 3 or 4 dogs on site, I always take an antihistamine before I go. And while this doesn't alleviate all the symptoms, it certainly goes a long way to ease them. So what is the antihistamine for emotional or behavioral symptoms of annoyance? A friend of mine had a therapist that once said to her, when you know you're going into bad weather, just take a raincoat. This means a kind of a shield from the rain, but not a negation of the rain itself. It means you can take responsibility for the circumstances and not be defined by them. This is a psychological life hack that can prepare you for the rain. As we move towards the high holidays, many of us are going to be figuratively going into bad weather. There will be meals shared with family where the relationships are fractured, where apologies were owed but never given or received, where hurtful words might be spoken inadvertently or even on purpose, where old grudges will rear their heads. Family meals can mean coming face to face with the favoritism within your family, the favorite grandchildren, the perfect sibling, the drunken uncle, the angry aunt. These situations become breeding grounds for gossip and for turbulent relations, and it's our responsibility to take our raincoats. Our Torah teaches us that the universal golden rule, love your neighbor as yourself, I am God, is key. This bears some explanation. The first part of this asks us to love our neighbor as ourselves. What does that mean? And what if I don't love myself? How can we love someone else when we don't love ourselves? But this is where it gets interesting. The word love, as many of you already know, is ahava in Hebrew, which has at its etymological root the word hav, which means to give. So let's say we must give to our neighbor as we give to ourselves. So what do most of us give to ourselves that we don't give to others? How about the benefit of the doubt? How about the way we can understand and forgive our own reactions? I was just so mad. I never meant to hurt anyone. I was tired. I was really bummed out. She deserved it. He had it coming. I would never intentionally hurt anyone. Or those of our children? Why is it that other people's kids are brats, but ours missed their nap? Oh, he's got an ear infection. Oh, she ate too much sugar. This is what it means to love your neighbor as you love yourself. It means to recognize that just as we are willing to make excuses and judge favorably and look for the positive light in ourselves and our children, that we must do the same for our neighbor. Now, I know this is kind of gross, but it is the most graphic example of how this is true, even physiologically. One can tolerate and even be strangely fascinated by the smells that our bodies emit. But heaven forbid you walk into a bathroom after someone else has been in it. Our own kids' dirty diapers don't make us gag, but that kid beside you, yeah, that's a different story. Loving your neighbor means remembering your own allergies and deficits before passing judgment on someone else's. It means searching as hard for the good angle in others as you would do with your own selfie. It means deleting the bad shots and only focusing on the good. And not taking a picture of someone at their worst and then psychically posting it to your mind's eye. The brilliant writer Byron Katie explains something that she calls the work. The work teaches us to run our beliefs through a 4-step process that we're meant to ask ourselves the following 4 questions. Number 1, is this true? Number 2, can I be absolutely sure that it's true? Number 3, how do you react? What happens when you believe this particular thought? And 4, who would I be without that thought? If any of your thoughts provoke an allergic reaction, then run that thought through those 4 questions. It's like every day is your personal Passover. Which son are you going to be? And isn't every person a bit of each of those sons anyway? There's an expression in Hebrew called having an ayin tov, which means a good eye. People who have a good eye, they have a certain charisma. Everyone wants to be around them because everyone feels good around them. They possess a humility which, our Torah teaches, is the greatest charisma of all. Now, it's vital in leaders, and it's imperative in long-term relationships. And humility is not thinking less of yourself. Humility is thinking of yourself less. Often, our allergies to people and situations reflect disowned qualities in ourselves, but that's for a different podcast. For now, suffice it to say that it's enough to work on having a good eye, on using preventative antihistamines like humility and positive judgment, and reframing to act not just as a raincoat for our own easily irritated selves, but as an example to our children about how to manage their own allergies. We're all meant to be doing spiritual inventories of ourselves every night before bed when possible. We all have allergies, and sometimes by no fault of our own. This week, let's try to preempt those allergies with spiritual and behavioral raincoats and antihistamines that will help us follow the golden rule. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am God. And that's the final piece to understand. When this sentence ends, I am God, it reminds us that we are not. That job is taken. May we all allow the Almighty to do her work, and step off the platform of negative judgment. And may we all breathe more easily, just knowing this.
Thanks for listening to Rise and Shine. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to Momentum Podcasts on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Join Adrienne again next time for more timeless wisdom and uplifting meditations that fill your heart, feed your soul, and start your day on a positive note.
You're listening to a Momentum podcast. For unlimited inspiration, wisdom, and empowerment, visit MomentumUnlimited.org.